On OSRC News at 7, Councillor, hospital users applaud Ayedatiwa administration over renovation of health facility. Divergent views trail Wike's face-off with naval officer over Abuja land. President Tinubu at Editors' Conference advocates responsible journalism as essential for sustaining democracy. From the foreign scene, 6 people die in Ghana military recruitment stampede. Good evening and welcome to the news. I am Omoshiliola Adesoye Ajayi. Following the recent facelifts at the Adebola Primary Health Center in Akure, residents have commended Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa for the initiative. Visiting the facility, the councillor representing Ward 11 Akure South, Wisdom Ogunyemi, also expressed amazement at the level of development, describing it as more than a renovation. Omori Olampeji has details.
Notable changes can be observed at the Adebola Primary Health Center, beginning from the entrance of the facility. Patients in the waiting room are now free from dust, as the entire area has been tiled and premises floored.
They carved this place out as a consulting room, so this is number 2 consulting room now.
Okay. Are you people expecting any equipment?
Yes, we are expecting furniture and the examination couch.
Examination couch.
Yes, in this room.
Demarcations have been made to create more consultation rooms and to separate the male and female wards, providing privacy with dedicated toilets attached to each.
And this solar is like 8 kVA.
About 8.something.
The solar power system has also been upgraded to ensure 24-hour electricity supply at the facility. The outpatient building was not left out of the renovation, as additional toilets were introduced and improved from the initial 2 that served both staff and patients.
Ordinary toilets, no bedroom, so one hour renovated. Each of the toilets now has a bedroom, so we have 4.
A major highlight is the newly constructed twin self-contained staff quarters with essential facilities for convenience, including a kitchen. Officer in charge of the facility, Helen Oguniyi, expressed joy, noting that there was previously no security post, but one has now been provided.
It will encourage us to work effectively, because at least after working, you have a place where you can rest. So it will really encourage us, boost our morale, help us in discharging our duties. This place is like home away from home now, so my people are very happy.
Chairman of the working committee and the facility, Samuel Adebusuyi, appreciated the government's intervention, saying the environment is now more comfortable for both workers and patients.
We thank the government for doing this for us. So it's better than before now. We are very comfortable now, and even the staff here, they are happy. So it is easy for them now to do their work effectively.
An outpatient, Mrs. Victoria Fagbi, confirmed the positive impact of the facelift and commended the friendly attitude of the staff. The councillor representing the ward, Mr. Wisdom Ogunyemi, lauded Governor Ayedatiwa's commitment to good governance, particularly in the health sector.
I'm very impressed and satisfied. Firstly, I want to tell you that these are part of the good work of Mr. Governor to ensure the dividends of democracy extend to the grassroots via the primary health center. And this is what I have seen by looking around. He's doing a good job. It's not only concentrating to the higher level, it's also looking towards the grassroots, which are the major center of dividends of democracy.
Adebola Primary Health Center is one of several facilities currently undergoing rehabilitation across the 18 local government areas of Ondo State. Omori Olampeji, Osrc News.
Ondo State Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa has emphasized the importance of energy security in driving sustainable development in the state and Nigeria at large. Speaking at the 43rd Nigerian Association of Petroleum Explorationists Conference in Lagos, he advocated for a shift towards an energy mix that incorporates renewable energy sources. Government House correspondent Wahab Bankole has details of the event. We hope to give you the report in the course of the bulletin. The recent face-off between the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, and a military officer has continued to generate nationwide reactions. While some Nigerians believe the minister should have exercised diplomacy, others insist that the military has no constitutional authority to secure private or disputed landed properties. Blessing Obi tells us more.
To intimidate who? We are on from this country.
This confrontation between the FCT minister and a military officer during an enforcement exercise in Abuja has stirred controversy among Nigerians. The incident occurred when the minister reportedly attempted to inspect a land allegedly linked to a retired military chief, a property he claimed had no record of allocation or building approval. Tensions escalated when the officer denied him access, claiming to be acting on superior orders. The minister, however, accused the military of intimidation, insisting that the occupants failed to present valid ownership documents.
We are on from this country, and this is government. You cannot be higher than any government. You cannot be carrying guns to intimidate people to not to do their work. Let me tell you, if not God achieve for the first time.
The video of the encounter, now trending online, has sparked public debate over the conduct of both the minister and the soldier. Reacting, retired Colonel Rotimi Alade and retired police officer Femi Joseph faulted the minister's handling of the matter, saying such issues should be resolved through lawful and civil procedures.
It is known that he has control over the land in Abuja in FCT generally, as delegated to him by the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces. He has the right and control over it. But of course, there are ways of exercising right. What I've done would be to contact his superior officer rather than engaging in altercation with a young officer. And of course, in the process, throwing decorum to the wind by abusing, insulting, and saying all foul languages with the officer.
For me, I didn't see anything wrong in what the officer did. The officer was never rude. He was never disrespectful. He stood firm, and he was trying to explain himself, telling the FCT officer, FCT minister, that he was directed to that scene by his master. I never saw him insulting the FCT minister. Even when the FCT minister was trying to poke his hand into his face, the man stood calm, with great disrespect, with great respect, with great candor, and with great humility. He was showing out his defense.
Some analysts also condemned the minister's approach, but emphasized the military officers have no constitutional role in protecting or intervening in land matters, a responsibility reserved for civil authorities.
It's not the responsibility of military to be guiding personal property. Far from it. And assuming it were to be a Nigerian border, is a different thing. So it's not the duty of... so I don't subscribe to using our military officers to do guard duties. It is not right. But that does not even remove the fact that what we did was right.
As discussions continue, many Nigerians are calling on both the government and the military to act with restraint and uphold the rule of law to prevent a repeat of such confrontations. Blessing Obi, Osrc News.
Meanwhile, Minister of Defense Mohammed Badar Abaka has said that no officer or soldier on lawful duty will be punished as a result of the altercation that ensued between soldiers and the Minister of the FCT Nyesom Wike in Abuja. Speaking on the occasion of the ministerial briefing to flag off the 2026 Armed Forces Celebration and Remembrance Day at the National Defense College, Badaru said officers and armed officers personnel on lawful duty will always be protected. Recalled that after the altercation between the minister and the officer who led soldiers to safeguard a landed property in Abuja, the coalition of retired veterans of the Nigerian military vowed that their members would mobilize and occupy the ministry of the FCT in Abuja if the officer who said he was acting on a lawful order was punished in any way. On the securities confronting the country, the minister said the Ministry of Defense has achieved significant operational milestones in safeguarding national security and protecting territorial integrity through improved synergy among the services and security agencies. We take a break now. When we come back, the news continues. Please don't go away.
One soft voice go dey darkness with a kulele promise. E go dey calm your feet dem. You fit smoke am, you fit smoke am, you fit sniff am. The first drag dey hit, but the addiction no be play o. E go first scatter your body. Your mind go come follow. E go dabaru your work, your future, even your money. Yeah, but no forget o, help dey. No give up. You fit break cycle with correct help and better support. You fit overcome am. Reach out for better future. Na Niger Delta Development Commission (NDDC) say make a yarn give una. Say no to drugs. NDDC, 25 years of making a difference.
When it's bright and early, get your breakfast right. Then you need all the nutrients that will hold you tight. Then stay in power, you find it all in peak. Then every move you make, Peak's got you all the goes on.
Power on every morning with our Peak breakfast to make the most of every day. Peak. Reach for your peak.
Glad to have you back. You can watch us live on our website www.osrc.ng or follow us on Facebook at OSRC TV. And on YouTube, you can subscribe to our channel at OSRC TV Ondo. And now back to the report on the Nigerian Association of Petroleum Explorationists conference holding in Lagos, where Governor Loke Aiyedatiwa emphasized the need for energy security in driving sustainable development.
The 43rd Annual International Conference and Exhibition of the Nigerian Association of Petroleum Explorationists, NAPE, convened at Eco Hotels and Towers, drawing top government officials, including Ondo State Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa, alongside industry experts, academics, and innovators. Under the theme, Revitalizing the Nigerian Petroleum Exploration and Production Strategies for Energy Security and Sustainable Development, the event focused on actionable strategies to improve exploration efficiency and optimize production to secure Nigeria's long-term energy future. Chairman of the Conference Planning Committee and President-elect of NAPE, who is an indigenous of Ondo State, Olajumoke Ajayi, says that all efforts are aligned to boost the oil sector's contribution to the national economy.
We stand today as a beacon of excellence, guided by a vision to be the premier professional petroleum geoscience association that drives sustainable energy development.
Outgoing NAPE President John Bosco Uche highlighted the conference goal of advancing oil exploration, underscoring the critical role of data-driven innovation and ICT in meeting industry targets.
Equally important is the need to embrace technology and digital transformation. Artificial intelligence, machine learning, advanced subsurface analytics to enhance exploration efficiency, reduce risk, and accelerate reserve replacements.
Several speakers expressed goodwill, commending the association for its efforts to strengthen the energy sector and boost Nigeria's economic growth. Special Advisor to President Bola Tinubu on Energy, Oluvahejin, noted that the ongoing reforms by the Tinubu administration are deliberate efforts to reshape the oil industry for enhanced production and improved energy security.
Since 2023, under President Tinubu's leadership, Nigeria has worked to restore that clarity. We're in a very dynamic energy landscape, with exciting developments emerging regularly across the world, from our neighbors in Ghana and Senegal, who have joined the oil-producing ranks, to Namibia, on the other side of the continent, to Angola and its LNG ambitions.
Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Oil, Heineken Lokobiri, called for continued commitment from all stakeholders to advance this sector.
If you don't do exploration, there will be no discoveries. But if you look at the statistics in Nigeria, we have barely scratched the surface. Most of the exploration was done in the Niger Delta. That goes to tell you the unexplored areas that NAPE has got a job to do.
Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa stressed the urgent need for the industry to transit to an energy mix that includes renewable sources. The governor stressed the importance of proactive measures to reduce Nigeria's reliance on foreign refined oil and lower domestic fuel prices.
The state government is one of the states at the forefront of energy security and sustainability in Nigeria. Our dear Sunshine State is recognized as the 5th largest producer of hydrocarbon in Nigeria, contributing about 60,000 barrels per day of crude oil. Ondo State is also home to the largest deposit of the yet-to-be explored bitumen in Nigeria, the 2nd largest in the world. So we are waiting for you. Maybe NAPE will be involved in this as well. And investors, it is there. Bitumen in Agbabu, the Southern Senatorial District of Ondo State.
He pledged his administration's full support for oil and gas exploration and development in Ondo State, ensuring that host communities are active partners with operating companies. Governor Aiyedatiwa commended the association for its role in uniting professional explorationists and geoscientists who continue to discover vital oil and gas resources for Nigeria's energy security and sustainable development. From Lagos, Wahab Bankole, Osrc News.
President Bola Tinubu has urged Nigerian editors to uphold integrity and fairness in their reportage, describing responsible journalism as essential to sustaining democracy and national cohesion. At the opening of the Nigerian Guild of Editors annual conference at the State House, Abuja, Tinubu said the media must continue to act as a stabilizing force in a rapidly changing information environment. Tinubu commended the Nigerian press for its historical role in advancing justice and democracy, recalling how journalists endured intimidation, detention, and personal hardship in defense of public goods. He, however, cautioned that the digital age has amplified misinformation, making the editorial function more critical than ever.
Discussing the value charter from here. What should be worrisome to you is the image of the country you project over the outside world. How well your institution is making effort to build a nation of credibility with integrity that is required. That we may be poor. Poverty is not going to be our master. We are going to come out of it. Yes, we are challenged by terrorism, banditry, and others. We recognize that. Are we doing something about it? Are we inspiring the armed forces? Are we encouraging them to fight? They put their lives on the line to defend the national sovereignty of this country. It is our responsibility. Take it as part of laundry list of discussions here. Your request is in my pocket.
Their criticism of government policies while maintaining fairness and accuracy. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Guild of Editors (NGE) has raised the alarm that the present economic realities in the country have put the media in distress. The Guild also called for the repeal of laws that inhibit press freedom. The president of the NGE, Mr. Eze Anaba, in his welcome address at the All Nigerian Editors Conference, ANEC, with the theme Democracy, Governance and National Cohesion, the role of editors, Abuja, lamented that the economic situation in the country has forced some media houses to shut down, while some that struggle to operate cannot pay workers' salaries. This, he said, has contributed to the increase in unemployment as it sends the workers in such media houses to the labor markets. He solicited legislative and executive assistance to make the media viable, as well as corporate tax relief for about 10 years, and also proposed a media freedom and safety charter to protect journalists from the hostile environment. Plateau State Governor Caleb Mutfwang has presented a budget estimate of over 900 billion naira for the 2026 fiscal year to the State House of Assembly, pledging transparency, accountability, and continued collaboration in driving the state's developmental agenda. The presentation, which followed a brief plenary session by the lawmakers, also featured the presentation of the State Medium-Term Expenditure Framework (MFTEF) and Fiscal Strategy Paper for 2026 to 2028. These documents, the governor explained, are aimed at ensuring sustainable planning, efficient resources allocation, and fiscal discipline across ministries, departments, and agencies. Governor Mutfwang emphasized that the proposal was carefully designed with diligence, vision, and a sense of responsibility, reflecting the administration's commitment to prudent governance and effective service delivery. And the Senate has approved President Bola Tinubu's request to raise over 1 trillion naira from the domestic debt market to cover the unfunded portion of the 2025 budget deficit. The approval followed the adoption of a report by the Senate Committee on Local and Foreign Debts during plenary. The committee noted that the 2025 Appropriation Act provides for a total expenditure of over 59 trillion naira, an increase of more than 5 trillion naira over the initial 54 trillion naira proposed by the executive. This expansion created a total budget deficit of over 14 trillion naira, of which more than 12 trillion naira had already been approved for borrowing, leaving an unfunded deficit of over 1 trillion naira. Earlier this month, Tinubu requested loan, explaining that it would bridge the funding gap and ensure full implementation of government programs and projects under the 2025 fiscal plan. At least 6 people have lost their lives after a stampede occurred during a military recruitment exercise at the Elwak Sports Stadium in Accra, Ghana. A statement by the Acting Director General of the Ghana Armed Forces Public Relations Directorate, Colonel Evelyn Asamoah, confirmed that the incident resulted in the death of 6 potential recruits, while several others sustained injuries. Asamoah said the stampede occurred early in the morning when a large crowd of applicants breached security protocols and forced their way through the stadium gates ahead of the scheduled screening. Asamoah added that the investigations are ongoing while medical teams attended to the injured. Turkey says all 20 people on board a military cargo plane that crashed in Georgia on its return from Azerbaijan had died. According to a statement issued by the Defense Ministry shortly after the incident, the plane had taken off from the Ganja airport in western Azerbaijan but crashed shortly after crossing the border into eastern Georgia. Turkey has not said what caused the accident, but dramatic footage taken by eyewitnesses appeared to show the plane spinning horizontally alongside several bits of debris as it fell. Georgian air traffic control said the plane had disappeared from its radar shortly after entering its airspace without transmitting a distress signal and that it had been alerted to the crash by the emergency services. And now sports. Former Super Eagles captain Mikel Obi has condemned the corruption plaguing Nigerian football, insisting that it must be completely eradicated if the game is to move forward. Speaking in a video on X, Obi referenced conversations and images circulating about FIFA's alleged over $1 million grant to the Nigerian Football Federation (NFF) for stadium projects, questioning how the funds were used. He, however, urged that discussions on corruption be put aside for now, noting that the immediate focus should be on Nigeria's upcoming World Cup playoff matches, stating that it's a mountain to climb for the players. Mikel also called on the NFF to ensure that players feel comfortable and motivated to perform at their best, stressing that adequate welfare and proper management are key to success. And that's news on the news, but before we go, let's take a quick look at some of the major stories. We told you that hospital users and other residents have applauded the Ayedatiwa administration over renovation of Akure Health Facility, and a councillor, Mr. Wisdom Oguyemi, also described the initiative as more than innovation. Also, we told you that divergent views are trailing FCT Minister Nyesom Wike's face-off with naval officer over Abuja disputed land. Some residents of Akure, the Ondo State capital, insisted that military personnel have no constitutional authority over landed properties. We also inform you that President Tinubu at editorial conference has urged journalists to uphold integrity in their job. He described responsible journalism as essential to sustaining democracy. And that's it on the news. Thank you so much for watching. Good night.